Hello students, today we are going to see the lesson number 6 in 10th standard English, the last lesson. This is a story written by the narrator. His name is Little Franz, and he has only two characters in this lesson. One is himself and another one is the French teacher, Mr. Hamel. On the day the story was happened in the time of First World War. The First World War, time of First World War, German was called in the name of Prussia. Prussia is include of Germany, Austria, some part of Austria and Poland. Today they are all individual countries. We know that. At the time the French was ruled by Bismarck. The the Prussia captured some part of the French. That areas was Lorraine and Alsace. These are the parts captured by the Prussian army, and it was the rule was implemented from tomorrow onwards. Only in the French, only the German has to be taught in the schools. Other language, the French language should not be taught in the classroom. That is what the rule implemented, so that everybody was worried about that. Because of though they were the French, they could not learn the French anymore. This is last day. That day was a Sunday, so the narrator rushed to the school because he don't want to be late to the school on the day, the final day of the French. So he rushed to the school. On the way, somebody is mocking him, making fun of him. Boy, don't go slow. They have plenty of time to go to school, but he did not listen to that. On the way, he noticed the birds are chirping, with soldiers are drilling, bulletin board and something. He noticed everything. Before this, each and every day he went through the same way to the school, but he did not listen to the things happened to around him on the way, because he did not want to go to the French class. He doesn't want to listen the class. He doesn't want to show the ears to his French teacher, Mr. Hamel. He always to be try to avoid the French classes. But this is the last day, so he don't want to be late to the school. He don't want to miss the class. He entered into the school, but when he entered the school was being very in silence. He heard only the stick that touches the tables of the students. He rushed to the class. Before he rushed to the school, the classroom was full. Usually the last bench of the class will be empty, but today a few members from the village came to the classroom, attend the class of the Mr. Hamel, who taught the French for last 40 years. He is a very skillful person. He is very nice man to talk, so that everybody want to attend the class as much as possible at the last day of his service, because from tomorrow onwards there will be no French classes. Everybody, the boy, the narrator stand in the at the door. The teacher asked him to get in, please, and then he seated himself on a bench. And the lesson starts. Everybody is the Mr. Hamel, the French teacher, taught the lesson in a very easy manner. When the narrator felt before that the French is very dull and bored, so he did not want to learn the French. But now he understood the lessons are so easy, the grammar is very easy, so the French has a lot of things to learn. He understand. He felt guilty because he did not listen to the classes before this. He ashamed about the day when he was playing in the river. He ashamed about himself. He attend not the class in a proper manner. But today he was very enjoy the class, and very much enjoy the class. It seems to be that Mr. Hamel tried to put everything in the mind of inside the head of the students, which he learnt in the last 40 years. Everything is going on. Everybody is reciting the questions. Everybody asking the answer. Everybody is answering the questions of the teacher. The narrator felt guilty, so he didn't want to answer any question from the teacher. When he was think like that, the teacher asked him to stand up and answer the question. He is very he felt that very difficult to answer the question because he don't know everything. He don't know what is he asking about. He stood still. The narrator and the narrator feel shy about that. At the same time, Mr. Hamill says, little friends, when you caught on tomorrow, if the Prussians ask you, though you are a French, if you can't you read and write in the French, how do you feel on the time? And also he added, if a person knows the language of his own when he is imprisoned, his own language is being like a key to the door, key to the lock which he was jailed in. And then he went on. He teach more and more. Finally, he gave the paper to everyone, everywhere to write something in French. At the moment the class gets silenced, everybody wrote. Everybody start writing. Only the narrator described the scene. He did not hear any other sound. He heard only the stretch in the scratching the pen of the paper. That's what he heard. But the narrator, little Franz, could not write anything completely. At the time, everybody says, everybody want to be, the class has to be extended a little more time. So they know this is the last day, this is the last time they are writing, so they are writing everything as much as possible. At the time, at 12 o'clock noon, they hear the church bell from nearby them. That was the time of Angelus. Angelus means that this is time to say the prayer in the Catholic Church. After hearing the bell, Mr. Hamill, who weared very costly, very rich in manner, very good in manner, occasionally dress up like that. He only dressed up like that on the time of honorable or the functions. He stood up with all his dresses and wrote on the blackboard, "Vive la France," which means "Long live France," and turned to the students and said, "Class dismiss, you may go." This is the lesson. This is the thing. Now we have to look out. We have to think about the narrator's side. And the narrator, Mr. the class, each and every day, he did want to avoid all the classes of his own language. But he felt guilty now because he want to learn the lessons now, but he could not anymore. So that the students, the lesson teaches us, we have to learn our own language. We should not neglect our own language. We have to learn our own language, our mother tongue, whatever it costs. That will be very helpful to us at the time of when we are imprisoned. That is what the character says, the narrator says. So the boys learn it. I have posted other video in Tamil for this lesson. Watch that video too and learn very easily. Thank you.